Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, you are able to see it, right?
Now we can.
Okay. So in this session, we're gonna see how we will write a file as a Parquet format. So the data could be anything. It can come from any database or any file or it could be anything. It should be just a kind of relational database data and that data any data will always have data type as well. So if there is a number, then how you will write convert that into number, or if it is a date, how we will write that into date and write that into a Parquet format. So Parquet supports different kind of data sets. So as I was even explaining yesterday, it has different data sets. So for every string, it always gives binary. So in general or in normal world, string is equivalent to binary in Parquet. So this has to be I mean maintained always, or else if you put everything in the source string, then by default it will take binary in the Parquet. And int is for small size of data. So that is like if it is two-digit number, then consider it as an int. It will consider it as an int, and if there is a decimal number, it will consider as a float. Yeah, float. And again, if it is more, then it will consider as a double. So this will work as an it's by itself by automatically depending on the data. It will choose the data type, but you can also give the data type. You can but you have to be sure that whatever input is coming, that has to be in same data type. For example, if it is a int, then input has to be int. If it is string, then it will not. And if it is a string and still you write int 96, it will give you error. It will say that the input data is string, but that is equivalent to boolean, but you are giving as an int 96. So that is important. Okay. And this int96 will come for date, and double is for the integer, and so on. So all this you will have to refer it. Basically you will have to refer this. And there is a little different in required and optional. So with optional, it could be I mean it the input could be either string or it could be anything. It's as name suggests, it's optional. But if you consider required, so it has to be it like it's mandatory kind of the. So you want to write the data purposefully or mandatorily into some data type, like it's like float. So you want to write height mandatorily into float data type, but optional it's not mandatory. If you don't give optional, it may work, but required if you are giving, then it means it's mandatory. And if you see here, even you can put same I mean required or optional in a same script. Okay, a same schema definition of the Parquet. I'll show you where you will define this, or where you will get this automatically gets generated. And next, coming to this compression drop down, so you will have this option also in your snap. So none. So in Parquet, there are two things. So one is it will convert the file into Parquet. The second it will do is it will also compress the file. If you don't select, or if you select just none, it will compress. It will still compress the file. But if you select Snappy, GZIP, or LGO, it will compress. The compression ratio will be very more. Maybe in GZIP it will be like 90% compression, like for 300 MB to only 3 MB or 30 MB. So that much compression it will be there. If it is none, maybe it could be like just 50% of compression, like 300 MB, so 1 MB would be the compressions ratio. Snappy as well. So by default, Snappy is being used. Uh, but so one thing you people try is try the same file. Let take one same file of 5 MB and try to use different sets. So try to one time you use a none and then run the pipeline, see what is the size of the file, then select the snappy, see the size of the file and gzip, and then again do the same thing for all this and try to compare what is the compression ratio. Okay, and just tell this tomorrow or the next class or whenever you complete it. We will see. We will compare how much compression it is giving. And also there is also a little difference in all this in terms of read and write operation. Like Snappy is by default used and like in any other application, but and there is a advantage of Snappy is while reading the file, like once you compress it, it's well and good. But when you read the file, that time it uncompresses and then read the record. So in that scenario, the Snappy will be preferred, or this gives a higher throughput in that case. GZIP compresses too much, and because of that, while reading, it may take little more time than Snappy. So this also we will try to, I mean, you can do a Google search and research and try to see what is the difference between all this. Okay. So this is one thing. Maybe they would have given here also. But yeah, try to see the see in detail. Maybe let's see if it is there here. Okay, they haven't given the compression, but they have given just the um, kind of package or codecs. You can see this will be installed directly on your Snaplogic cluster, so we'll not have to do anything. But yes, there is a difference while reading and writing. We will not be able to compare the reading speed, but yes, the writing compression size we can able to um do it, compare it. Other than that, here the important part is um, yeah, these two are very important. And there is one more difference in using Parquet Snap is you do not have to format or you do not have to use formatter. So for every CSV writer or when we write the file as a CSV or Excel, we used to add a CSV formatter or Excel formatter. But in Parquet writer, you do not need to do that. So you can after mapper you can directly write data into Parquet, or maybe after CSV parser you can write directly. So you just test it. Okay, so that is one thing. So you do not have to use any formatter. Now coming to this pipeline, so I have taken one file. This is Netflix data, and after passing, we are mapping it. And I what I did is I have added. Let's remove this for now. Okay, so this is the real data which is coming from the source, and we have to map it and write it into Parquet file. So during one second, let me see if this. Okay, so
Can you take empty file here, new file here, and that's
new file. Yeah, it will be.
yeah,
That's
new
what
file.
I'm showing. So when you use this Parquet writer right at the end, so there will be nothing in this edit schema. There will be this. Okay, you will not have. This is like they have given a sample how you can create the schema. So if you see it, they have already given some example schema over here. Okay. So one second. So in new you will not see. Let me do one thing. Let me remove this. No, this is fine, right? This you people already know how to do it till here.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes,
Okay. So now let's
yes.
see.
We know.
Let's take the Parquet writer. Okay. So this is complete your empty Parquet rider. In the directory,
Okay.
what you do is you have to give the location till your folder. Don't give the file name over here. File name you will have to write here. So right
Okay.
now, to write into SLDP, uh, you should not give even this forward slash. You just give the folder name. So whatever it is, Netflix movies. So this folder name I will give, and at the end I'll give a forward slash. So this is it will consider as this as a folder, and under this I will give you the file name. So to give the file name, Netflix dot, this should be dot Parquet as an extension. Okay, this is important.
Machine
If
should Parquet
yeah,
extension is needed.
yes, this is mandatory, or else
Okay.
your file it will get the file without any extension, but you will not be able to read it. Right.
Okay.
So you will have to give this Parquet as an extension for mandatory. Now there was one more thing which I was telling to you. This compression. So right now by default it is none. We can select it snappy or we can select it in any of these. Let's keep it none for now,
O-
and rest everything is fine. Now the important one more thing is this creating schema. If I don't create a schema, you will get error like how we were getting yesterday. Okay, I can show you if you want
Yes.
to
Yes.
see the error, but it will tell you that schema is not defined properly. So what you have to do is go to this edit schema, and in the initial time it will show you like this. Okay, so let's do one thing. You will not get, if you generate the schema, it will not give you because we haven't run this or validated this pipeline. What we will do is let's validate it first. Okay, so if you hover over here, you will see the Parquet schema is invalid. You can see that, right? Failure.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so now go to this Parquet, click on this edit schema. Yeah, now if you see here, by default it has generated the schema. If you don't see this schema gets generated, then do one thing is click on this generate template. Yeah, so when you click on this generate template, it will automatically create this schema. And if you see here, this names are the column names coming from coming from your source. Okay, and this binary is an optional binary. It's by itself creating it, and everything it is taking as an string, because the data is coming from what to say, CSV. So in CSV everything will be in kind of string itself. That's why by default it is taking string binary here in Parquet. Okay, so now we will do is just close this, save this. Hopefully it should execute now. Let me execute it. Unable to pass the schema. I think we need to save it. After passing, there should be option to save. Yeah, click on OK. Save. Let's see if it has saved X properly, then it will execute. Yeah, it has worked here. So let's see the data in this. We're not able to see from here. Name is Netflix.parquet. Netflix.parquet. It does not generate the output. Netflix underscore movies, right? Under that, there's no. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's remove this folder name and let's keep the file name. Let's see if it writes into this SLDB. Mhm. It is not writing. Maybe this directory is needed and it should be any cloud or host. So without that, I mean, right now we cannot write it into SLDB. But if we have some S3 account or any other location, then we will try again and you will be able to see the file. So right now it's not writing into this SLDB. CSA is this. No, maybe it has some limitation like you cannot write this into SLDB. So this is, as I told, it's just a temporary location, right? So maybe Parquet it considering it as an a real time data, and it's not. So anybody, any company working on real-time data, they will not store it into this SLDB. This SLDB is just to store temporary files or credentials, not for real data. So that's the reason it's not storing. Might be possible that they would have designed like this. So anyway, this we will do it again, and I will show you how to write. If you have S3 account or any other account, so we will try to show you how you can write using this Snaplogic into Parquet format. And so this is same. Everything is same. You can also test this compression ratio, and location should be the S3, and then so I had imported one uh, or the sample file which is there here. This is the one. This is the pipeline, and if you see here, they are writing into S3 location. Okay, so if they're I mean they if we also have some S3 location or any other external location, then we can also write it into this location, and this is the file name. Okay, and if you go here, this is their schema. So this is what the file name or the column name is coming from the source, and they are doing some grouping also here. We'll need to see how the data is, and then only we'll do it. So this is all tal error and tal method. But yes, you should be able to. I mean, I hope you got the idea. We will do it once we have some cloud account, and then we will try to write the data. This is clear, right? No, the next important thing in this is, so all these are coming as an what to say string. So what happens if I okay, let's do one thing. Try to pass something into integer. So country duration, duration is, now what is the data? Let's see if there is a data with, no, with a number, we'll try to pass it as a integer and then we'll see the output. So release here, so this should be integer. Okay, release here. Okay, now what I did is I mandatorily converted this into integer, the numbers into integer. Now let's see what happens. I'm not gonna change anything else. Let's validate. Yeah, so if you see here, unable to course field release here of type big integer to require Parquet type binary. So as I told, right,
Yes.
so string will be always binary. Now what we did is release here we made it into integer, but we haven't changed into schema. So schema was binary only. So now it is giving error. Now if you go to this schema and let's regenerate this template. No, see here. This by automatically got converted into integer, right? Now if you store it, let's see if we have, now let's run this. Yeah, now it got successfully executed. Okay, so this is one important thing. Now let's do one more thing for date. Date is always important in Parquet when while during conversion, and date it will not take as an string. So let's take, when you click on here, so just to take the current date, what you can do is click on this date dot now. Okay, now you see this. This is the current date, and output will give as a current date. Okay, save it. Let's go here and wait. You will have to execute, validate. So here that current date column is not here. So what you will do is regenerate the template again. Now if you see here, it has come. Okay. So there is one. So can anybody tell me if this will get executed or not? If I run this pipeline, will it get executed successfully?
Is in different format. Date is a different format now.
Exactly. So date
Date
is
will
in,
accept to MMDDYY.
yeah, date will be date in the what to say, in the real world, but in Parquet right now here it is taking as a binary. So obviously there is a difference, but let's for confirmation run it. Let's see what it is giving. Okay. So of course it will give you error, and if you see this current date of type date time to record barcode type is binary. Okay. Now let's see what is the equivalent for date. So for any date, let's see if there is 8 number 16. This is Jan 7. Yeah, the this is date. So this column is a date, but in the Parquet it is int 32. Okay. So this is Basically in Parquet there is no data type. It is all integer, or it is a binary, or it is float, or it is double. There is no date. Okay. Now the question is how you will convert date into an integer. So will that be possible? Or the other option is convert the date into string. So that is possible. I will show you that how you will do it. So hope you are getting what I'm trying to explain, right?
Yes, yes.
So what I'll do is I will convert this to string. So this is a function to convert this anything into string. So you will also get here in this drop down parseInt. So the one which I used this parseInt, right? So it is here. Similarly, we'll have it for string. It will be there in the string math string length. Substring this. Where is that? To perhaps you mean if you see here, it is giving a 2s I have written, and it's trying to tell you that is it to string you are trying to write. So yeah, it is here only. So it is in array actually, to string conversion. So this function is already there. We will have to use this. Okay. So this date will get converted into a string format. So let's save it, and in this schema let's generate the template. Okay, we'll have to execute. Sorry, we'll have to validate. Okay. So now this has come as binary current date, and when you run it, it will be done successfully. Okay, this is one alternate solution what you can do. But if anybody comes and tell you that no, I need that field to be uh, date itself. So what happens is, for example, you have a table, and this current date is defined as a date type, date data type. Okay, but what you are trying to do here is you are the output from the output you are generating. In that case, you are writing date as an string. So obviously, when you try to insert that data, it will fail. Now the question is how you will convert an date into any format which Parquet can support properly, or a table should get inserted without any issue. So can you think of anything? So there is something called to for this solution, there is something called epoch time. It is called epoch, or anything. You can just as per your understanding, you can call it, but let's call it as an epoch right now. And if you see this, so this is your integer value, and in the backend, the date and time is this. Okay. So
Okay.
so if you see this Friday Feb 17, and this is the time, but in the integer, when this thing gets converted into an epoch, it will consider as an integer, and this is your number. This you can do it automatically in Snaplogic. So here you need to convert this date to epoch. I don't know if it is directly available or not. We need to figure out the function. Percent array pop shadows. Let me know if you people see it. Toasting unit shift decode encode. There is option to do this into epoch, and that too you can do it directly. To local date string, get date full year, get was. Okay, I'll have to figure out how we can do this. Um, so this is the concept behind it. You need to convert this date into epoch date, and then you will have to execute it. But what happens like when you execute this? So for example, you have converted into epoch time, right? And so the output will be the by logic the output should be this one only, right? Because you have already converted and you are writing into Parquet. But after conversion, the date will not be in this format, in this number. It will be in this itself. Okay. So it's like after converting or after generating your output file, try to see the date in in that file. The date will be in this format. It will not be in this format. But to parse it or to successfully execute the pipeline, you have to convert that into epoch. Here you will have to put that as an epoch here, and this will get converted into epoch number, and then the schema here will gets converted into um, int 64 or int 96 based on the size, and then when you execute the complete flow and when you see in your Parquet file, you will be able to see the date instead of the number. So hope this is clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so two things you try to work on it. One is to how to convert into epoch, and the other one is to try to see how you try to run different file and try to see the compression, this one. So try to see how much compression it is happening and also try to see what is the difference. So this like in real time they will ask you what is the difference between these three scenarios. Okay, so this you try to um, do it from your end. I'll tell you on Monday class, but try to find out the way how you can do it. You will figure out. I mean, you will get in Google for sure. Okay, and yeah, so that's it. So if you have any question, you can ask me.